All right, everyone, welcome to another video of Views from the Stands. We're going to be kind of talking about how did we get to Super Bowl week. So your host here, Guns, aka G-Man G Blazin. We're going to be talking about how we got to this week where we have Super Bowl in Las Vegas, Nevada, facing off the Niners versus the Chiefs. All right, guys, how did we get here, right? So, first week, right? The first week of playoffs, the wild card weekend, super wild card weekend, if you remember. We started off Saturday. We had Houston versus Cleveland at Houston, and Houston just takes control of the game and dominates from pretty much second half, to the end. Final score was 45-14. Houston moves on. It was pretty much a shootout up until Cleveland was through back-to-back pick sixes. Then we had the Kansas City Miami game in Kansas City. This was one of the closest games, and Kansas City dominated 26-7. Offense obviously did enough to score points, and the defense was outstanding per usual this season. So we go into Sunday, where we have Green Bay at Dallas, and Green Bay, shocks the world and upsets, quote unquote, Dallas at Dallas, 48-32. So shootout here, and Jordan Love and that offense were firing on all cylinders, obviously. And then we had the nightcap Los Angeles Rams at Detroit. Matchup of Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford with the trade, right? The old teams and everything. High drama, and what people expected is a very close, tightly game. 24-23, Detroit wins, moves on, and they get a win after securing a huge third down late in the game to entice it. And then we luckily had two on Monday. One of them was supposed to be on Sunday, and that's what we're talking about now. Pittsburgh at Buffalo, where unfortunately Buffalo, was scared and had to push a day out, where it had to be a Monday instead of a Sunday. So we, unfortunately, my beloved Steelers, we lose 31-17. Honestly, it truthfully wasn't expecting to make a run or anything. We're playing our third string QB. I mean, some injuries on the defensive side and just wasn't impactful enough to slow that offense down for Buffalo. So they move on, and then the nightcap for the Monday was Philadelphia at Tampa Bay, and the continued issues and struggles for Philadelphia continued, and they got blown out 32-9. I mean, Baker was Baker, man. He threw for 337. Shout out to him. They just Philadelphia couldn't they they couldn't stop people, they couldn't score, and that was really the theme of the second half of their season. So, guys, we get into the divisional round, right? So we're one step closer to the Super Bowl week, and now we know our divisional rounds, right? And so Houston plays Baltimore after beating Cleveland at Baltimore, and Baltimore pretty much dominates the game, 34-10. It was a closely tight game at half, but pretty much second half, just Ravens made the adjustments and controlled the rest of the game, and they move on to the conference championship. And then our nightcap for Saturday was Green Bay at San Fran, and San Fran started off slow. Green Bay was up, and then San Fran slowly second half made the adjustments, came back, and with also a missed field goal from Green Bay, San Fran wins 24-21 to move on to the conference championship. And on Sunday we have two games: Tampa Bay at Detroit. Detroit moves on 31-23. Pretty much teams go back and forth on the offensive side, and Detroit comes with a timely interception at the end to seal the deal, and Detroit moves on to the conference championship game. And lastly, Kansas City at Buffalo. First road game for Pat Mahomes. I honestly believe I predicted that he would lose this game, and he did not. 27-24 Kansas City. That defense, you know, did enough to seal the deal, obviously, and that offense obviously did enough to win the game. I would say what's interesting about Kansas City is that they're playing complement, complementary football. Excuse me, can't speak today. Never really can speak, but Kansas City, yeah, they're playing really good on both ends, and they're gelling very well. So, guys, those were the divisional rounds, right? And we get to the conference championship, which was 2 weeks ago. Um, and so I had the privilege to watch one of the games on a flight to Denver for work, which was Kansas City at Baltimore. Another road game for Kansas City, and Kansas City wins 17-10. Both teams were just too stout on the defensive end. Offense didn't really move the ball that much, especially in the second half. But when they needed to play third down, they gave Pat Mahomes the ball, and he threw a dime to MVS. Excuse me. I'm glad he was able to catch it, and they secured the W. So Kansas City moves on to the Super Bowl, as you can see, as in the picture, and they will be facing off, the winner of this game, which is obviously the San Fran. But we're going to be talking about how this one, and this one I was able to watch from the get go. I was able to get to the hotel and watch this game. So Detroit at San Fran. And the final score was 34-7 or 34-31. Excuse me. Right, San Fran wins on and wins and moves on. But Detroit, man, they honestly gave this game away. Up 17 at one point. Too many fourth downs to go for. Didn't kick the field goal. I mean, Detroit should be, in my opinion, in Vegas, right, facing the Chiefs for the Lombardi. But unfortunately, you play 60 minutes, and Detroit did not play at the end of the game and gave up too many yards, too many points to win the game. It was a stunner shock. I was pulling for Detroit just because they got some SC guys on there and whatnot, but just what a shocker to see Detroit lose, and kind of just it obviously sucks for an organization like that. You kind of remind you of like the Atlanta Falcons, right? The 28-3 debacle. Obviously, that was in the Super Bowl. This is a conference championship still, so tough loss for Detroit. But San Fran moves on again after another slow start, and we have now the matchup, as you can see, guys. San Francisco 49ers versus the Kansas City Chiefs this Sunday, February 11th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern on CBS in Las Vegas, my hometown. I'm happy to see a Super Bowl in Las Vegas. I think that is so cool. Obviously I'm not going to be there because it's a lot of money, but we're going to be celebrating out here in Arizona for this one. So guys, that will conclude this episode or video. But as always, guys, please go subscribe to this channel. That will be helpful for myself, helpful for you. You'll get notified on when I'm dropping these videos and whatnot. But we have some cool things coming on here very shortly. We're going to probably start doing a series here soon about the portal rankings and the teams, right, and the players and all that, and kind of give my own, I guess you can say, ranking based on ones and 247s, and then kind of give my thoughts and maybe try to see, hey, is this valid, basically, right? So big things come on that series, guys. But as always, peace.